What's up, guys? It's Optitron Prime here, and I decided that today's the day that I'm going to bring you my Age of Extinction spoiler-filled review. So if you haven't seen the movie, or if you don't want to know anything, just stop right now. But if you have seen the movie, or you don't mind quite a bit of spoilers material, keep watching, because I'm going to discuss certain scenes and what I thought about those scenes. So this video is spoiler-filled. So if you've seen the movie, stop right now. Okay, here we go. The movie opens with spaceships coming to Earth to cyberform it, to create a new Cybertron, or maybe an old Cybertron. But they're coming to create some sort of metallic world. And I believe that the pilots are the creators of the Transformers because of just the context. So they're coming to Earth, and then they see the dinosaurs of prehistoric times, and they're dropping these seeds in order to cyberform Earth, which is very interesting. You know, I didn't expect to see that. But after that happens, we go to a board meeting of Harold Attinger and his associates. And they say a bunch of things, and then he says, "The age of the Transformers is over." Which really struck me. I mean, when he said that, you know that Kelsey Grammer means business. He does. So, after that, it goes to the humans hunting Ratchet. And Lockdown, which is the first time we see Lockdown, he pops up out of the water and uses this scope from his face. And I certainly did not expect to see him working for Harold Attinger. I mean, I expected his employer to be from way out of space. But it was Harold Attinger. So, I never would have guessed that. But, he's working for Harold, and so he uses his little scope thing to scope out Ratchet. And they find him, and the humans gravely injure him, which made me sad. And then Lockdown pops up and goes, "He's mine now," and shoots him with his face gun, which is epic. I mean, the face gun was epic, not the Ratchet thing. But he uses that face gun and mortally wounds Ratchet, and he says, "There's one way to survive this. Tell me where Prime is." And Ratchet says he will not do it, and then Lockdown just whips out a sword and goes, boom, stabs him. And I think that made everybody in the theater very sad. I know I was. I mean, I was like, no, no. So anyway, Ratchet dying was very sad for me. And then it moves to Texas, where we meet Cade and Lucas. And the first time we see them, their conversation is rather humorous. And then they go into this old abandoned theater to buy things to fix up so Cade can make some money. And so they find all this stuff, but the theater owner and his grandpa is very, very, he has an attachment to the building. And the grandson just has nothing. And then Cade looks him right in the eye and says, "If this makes your grandfather happy, you bring him here every day." And I was going, "Yay, Cade!" when he said that, because that was really inspiring. And then they go, Cade and Lucas go into the back room and search for things, and then they find the football, and Lucas says, "Hey, you know how many girls we brought in here, don't you?" And Cade says, "I only remember one." And that was really cool. And they threw the football around, and Lucas broke stuff. He's like, just leave it." And then the magic happens. Cade finds the truck. And that was amazing. I loved it when Cade found the truck. And he says, "Hey, how much for the truck?" And the guy goes, "Truck? What truck?" And then immediately goes to Cade's house, where Tessa is secretly talking to Shane. And then Mark Wahlberg pulls up with the truck, and she's furious about it. And Lucas is furious about it because he spent his money on a truck, and he's not getting paid back. So Lucas is pretty upset. And who can blame him, right? But eventually, Mark Wahlberg finds out that it's Optimus Prime because he says, calling all Autobots. And then he says, I think we just found a Transformer. And then I think one of those government drones comes in and sees this, and Harold says, he's there, or something like that. We know where Prime is. And so they go find him, only to find out that they're lying about him being there, because they don't know where he's at. But when Titus Welliver pulls out the big gun and says, I'm going to shoot your daughter, Optimus Prime says, I've had enough, and pops out of the barn and just goes crazy. Of course, we saw that in the trailers, and that was freaking amazing. And then he runs off with, actually, Cade and Tessa get in the car with Shane, and Mark Wahlberg finds out that Shane's dating his daughter, and he's not happy. So, I mean, what kind of father would be if they said, hey, you can't have a boyfriend, and then your secret boyfriend pops up, and even though he just saved your life, you're like, I told you not to have a boyfriend, you know. But it was still really cool. And so then we move on to Detroit. Yeah, Detroit. Where Lockdown finds Optimus for the first time, and Optimus beats the snot out of him. And then Lockdown drops a grenade and unfortunately takes Lucas out. I was so upset when Lucas got took out, because I expected him to last longer in the movie. I really did. I thought he was going to make it at least to God knows where. But he didn't. He got cyberformed, and that made me very sad. I mean, I was going, no! But when all this was happening and we saw him in the middle of the fire, I was like, okay, yeah, he's going to die. But it's so sad, but he's going to die. But it's so sad! You know. So, there's that. And then it goes to the board meeting with, it goes to the desert meeting where we meet all the Autobots. And the voice actors for the Autobots were just so insane. You know, Ken Watanabe was excellent as Drift. And John DiMaggio was awesome as Crosshairs. And of course, John Goodman as Hound. I mean, I couldn't have picked a better voice for Hound than John Goodman. We got the gang back together. I mean, you can't beat that. You just can't. And then Drift says, so there is hope at last. You know. And then we see his helicopter form, which I didn't know was going to appear in the movie, but he has a helicopter form. Yay! Triple changers in a live action film. Woo! So anyway, there's that. And then it goes to the board meeting with Cade and Harold. And that scene was pretty intense. And then he gets rescued by Bumblebee and Drift, and that was really intense. And then Optimus is all furious because he just found out that they murdered Ratchet. He's like, when I find out who's behind this, they're gonna die! You know, and I was just like, yay! So that happened, and then it goes to, well, I can't remember, but I think this is going to be the end of part 1. So, guys, it's been Optitron Prime, and I'm going to immediately shoot part 2 after this. So stay tuned, and this channel is for anything Transformers and anything else. So stay tuned for part 2.